I was like, okay, this sounds like someone's got an addiction.
Correct. Correct. It's me. I'm the one who's addicted to Baldur's Gate 3.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking amazing.
Did you see the fucking thing about the golem?
No.
So there's a way to beat the golem easily.
The one I was stuck on?
Yeah. Apparently everyone's getting stuck on it. You have to find something called the Forge Hammer, and you get an achievement for killing the golem without the Forge Hammer. And everyone's like, what the fuck are you talking about? No, this can't be real. What did I suffer for?
Wait, what? No, no, that's not. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yep, yo, type in Forge Hammer right now into Twitter, see what happens.
What? Hold on.
Do it.
Baldur's Gate 3.
We're about to watch a man's soul shatter.
Wait, what? Wait. Huh?
Yeah.
I don't...
Here it comes.
Oh, no, they mean the environmental thing. Yeah, I knew about that.
Oh, damn it. Oh, now I'm sad.
Yeah, no, it's not a literal hammer. So there's a lever you can pull to drop like this massive pillar thing on his head, and it will do a shitload of damage and then knock him prone. So you can give him the bully beat down. That's what that is. I did know about that, actually. Yes, you can lure him, because the trick is when you if you're playing Baldur's Gate 3, here's a little tip for you. There's a big golem thingy. You're gonna fight him on a smithy thing. When he gets hit by someone, he prioritizes that target, and he will only go after the last person who hit him. So what you do is you have one of your companions hit him from range, and then lure him towards the middle, and then drop the hammer thingy on him, and it does a bunch of damage, and it knocks him prone, and then you can give him the bully beatdown while he's knocked prone. Yeah. However, important note, when you hit him with the hammer, it will also spawn 5 fire methods who are all going to cast heat metal on you to try and get you to drop your weapons. So, pros and cons.
Oof.
Yeah. Anyway, that's neither that's nor here. I mean, I am addicted to Baldur's Gate 3. I am playing ungodly amounts of that game because it is very good. And
couldn't be me, bud.
Yeah,
me suffering in a lack of armored core.
Listen. I'm just gonna say maybe you should play Baldur's Gate 3 first. Anyway.
No, I want a cool call sign. I want to play in the Japanese server so I can get a cool call sign. I want it so bad.
I mean, yeah, you do. I'm trying to. Yes. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I did not get that achievement in question, by the way, because I did indeed use the forge to hit him with it.
I'm honestly, so sad that wasn't like a more.
No, I'm sorry. Honestly, though, funny enough, you depending on like your setup, it might actually be easier to kill him without the hammer, because you can kind of like feed him around, because you can turn the lava on and then have someone hit him, and then have that person so if you have Astarion hit him, and then you just use cunning action to like run away really far, so he tries to chase Astarion but can't actually reach him in a turn, and you just keep going around and around and around. You could potentially bait him for quite a while.
But, oddly funny.
Yeah. Anyway, point being, we're here to talk about tabletop shit, which Baldur's Gate is related to, and Baldur's Gate is the reason I had my topic idea of choice here, because Baldur's Gate. That's really all I have to say to the matter. So some astute listeners may look at the title, whatever we end up choosing it to be, and maybe look at the description and be like, wait a minute, you guys have already talked about this. And yeah, we kind of have. We kind of have already talked about. We're going to talk about experience points and sort of experience point reward systems. And yes, we sort of did kind of already talk about this. But I want to drive down on a more specific aspect of reward systems in games. And focus on focus on the using the way Baldur's Gate does it as a jumping off point, sort of focus on this particular method of doing it in a way that I think is quite good and can be useful in a bunch of ways. And also, if nothing else, can be some interesting, like, food for design thought. So, all that long-winded explaining. Yep, that sentence happened. So how does Baldur's Gate do it? Let's start there. Basically, so you know how D&D talks about the 3 pillars? That's the thing.
I know that D&D likes to say that it talks about 3 pillars.
Can you give me the 3 pillars, I say?
It
Pop
is
quiz.
Roleplay, exploration, combat.
Yes, correct. So, Baldur's Gate basically, it uses uses XP as a video game RPG is wont to do, and it basically looked at the 3 pillars and just said, okay, what if we just give you XP for all 3 pillars? So, in Baldur's Gate, you will receive XP for killing things, solving like social dilemmas, like conflicts, and for discovering stuff. All 3 of those things will reward you XP. Also, you get XP for completing quests, which, as you might imagine, the XP you get from quests is the largest chunk of XP that you will get. So there's actually, Baldur's Gate will give you XP for the 3 pillars and plus 1 more. And, basically, I feel like this is a really, really good example of a system you could use in tabletop. It's obviously particularly for D&D, but I think it could work in lots of other systems too, because, experience is a pretty universal concept in most games, and it appears in some fashion. And, I think this is just a really good system to use, and a system I actually already sort of kind of use in my game right now, as you're aware, Isaiah.
So I'm curious, what is this 4th pillar you're talking about?
The 4th pillar is quest XP.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. So like the 3 pillars are combat, social, and exploration. So you get those 3 for XP. The 4th one is quest. Complete the quest in whatever fashion. And the reason I kind of consider like questing as a fourth one is because you can complete a quest in kind of whatever way you want in Baldur's Gate, right? Like, and also obviously in tabletop games. So like, there is a situation you run into early on in the game where you have to help a group of like refugees, and you can help the refugees by going and finding their leader, or you have the option of like trying to take over as the leader yourself and sort of guiding them yourself. Or you could just brutally murder them all yourself, which will complete the quest because there's no refugees to help if they're all dead. Yeah, that's an option. You can kill them all. It's not going to be easy, but you definitely can do it. Or you can go to where the bad guys who they are hiding out from, the goblin camp, and talk to the goblins, and you could just side with the bad guys and then kill all the refugees.
Oh,
which again, problem solved. So yeah, the reason I consider questing to be, the 4th pillar is because you can essentially solve it with any of the other pillars. You know what I mean? Like the other pillar, or should I say, utilizing the other 3 feeds into completing the quests. Ergo, it's kind of a 4th thing.
Interesting. It is. That does seem kind of crazy when you think about the face of it, that it's like each quest has to be designed so that it can be solved from any of these 3 avenues.
Did you play Divinity?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Do you remember some of the crazy things you would like discover in that game? Like by accident, or you would try something and it would work, Yeah, I very rarely in my favor, but yeah. What do you mean very rarely in your favor?
For me, a lot of Divinity was like, I want to see if I can go try this thing out, and then it just explodes in my face, and I'm like, oh, well, should have thought about that one actually. when you touch the head on the pike and then it just perpetual explosions that can kill you and make you restart a 20-minute save, and you're like, wow, that was kind of on me, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of this sounds like a you problem, skill issue, mate.
What about skill? But it definitely was a me problem.
Okay, well, none of that has to do with what my point being is that like that freedom of options to solve problems they have just expanded more and more and gotten even better at in Baldur's Gate, and that's just kind of what Larian does. So like, yeah, there's an insane number of ways you can complete all sorts of things. I mean, even down to the most basic, like if you just kill the NPC who gave you the quest will complete because there's no one to, complete the quest with, so it's done.
And you just get XP for it, even if you just moidle
I don't know how the XP works. I'm not playing as an evil piece of shit in the game, so I haven't just gone out of my way to rampantly murder people, so I don't actually know. I'm playing Zigzax, who is the mighty hero of Elturel, so I can't be evil. That'd be fucked up.
I see.
The protector of Avernus and savior of Elturel would never do such things. All right, so yeah, I don't actually know, but like, there's been multiple times where the game has been like, you want to just team up with the bad guys instead, like multiple times. Or there's been situations where you could just be like, you know what, fuck it, kill everybody. Like, it's crazy, and also you have to take into account that they have to plan and design around the situation enough that if you decided to be a rampant sociopath, you still have to be able to beat the game somehow. Which,
oh yeah, can you like asshole your way into a fail state?
No.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. No, you literally can't. That was one of the things that I was watching a podcast that I watch quite often, and they had Sven, the director, on, and he was like, yeah, basically the hardest thing to design for, like the hardest thing for the designers to deal with is the fact that you have to be given all of this freedom and you have to be able to complete the game. Like, you can't screw yourself out of winning. So they had to design for like an absurd number of contingencies in order to make sure that you eventually will complete it.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, no, it's quite the thing. I believe, again, I'm not playing the rampant sociopath run, so like it's hard for me to tell what some of those failsafes are because I'm, actually talking to the people you're supposed to talk to. But there are a couple of sort of MacGuffin-esque things in the game that I think are the primary ways that they guarantee you will never like get off of the main path. Is this a spoiler? I have to think about this. Okay, so you know about the tadpole thing?
Yeah.
Okay, the tadpole in your brain thing is a MacGuffin that I think basically guarantees you cannot ever fail-safe yourself. Like I think the tadpole in the brain is one of the biggest fail-safes. I'm not going to explain. I'm not going to say why, but yeah.
I was going to say, can you actually fail state that? Is that like a time limit?
No. But again, I'm not going to say why. But yeah, no, you can't fail safe. You can't fail state the tadpole. There's a multitude of things. There's so much shit going on, and like, again, I don't want to spoil or anything. So, but yeah, no. Tadpole is, I think, one of the main ways they guarantee that you will be able to beat the game.
Is it because it gives you like weird psionic mind controlling powers, or?
It does a lot of stuff. Again, I don't want to get into it because not just for you, but for other people, like anyone listening, I don't want to get into it.
Fair enough.
It does a lot. There's a lot of shit going on. So yeah. Anyway, I mean, if you want to know more, I can tell you like once we're done recording.
It's this thing where it's like, I don't know. Originally I was like, no spoilers, Baldur's Gate, but now I'm like, I don't know when the fuck I'm gonna have a chance to play the game. So shit.
Fair. I mean, yeah. If you want me to explain more, I can explain more once we're done recording. But for the sake of anyone listening, I don't want to just seeing as how they don't have consent. They don't have consent in this relationship.
No, you just state spoiler warning, and then you say some wild shit, and then you just like sit in silence for a second, give it like 2 minutes, and then actually say the spoiler just to fuck people.
That is violent and evil, and I will do no such thing. Jesus Christ. Okay, anyway. So that was our 15-minute spiel about Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate 3, very good game. If you don't have a D&D group, just go play Baldur's Gate 3. Problem solved.